Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're here for the Summer Hikaru Died, episode 4. Last episode was a very complex episode, which made it great. It was so good. It was such a deep cut into Hikaru, into the new Hikaru, and into Yoshiki and their dynamic going forward. As kind of, obviously, it was discussed after. There's a lot of different parts of grief all being kind of jumbled in together here because there's no one correct pathway to follow grief for, obviously. There's a blueprint, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna go off that blueprint. Everybody grieves differently, but at least to me it kind of felt like Yoshiki was just, even if he kind of accepted it, he was still using Hikaru as a placeholder and just keeping up their current dynamic, you know, the one that he had with the previous Hikaru, the actual Hikaru. He was just keeping up that dynamic because it felt comfortable and he didn't want to break away from that, both him and Hikaru both. And so when he went and talked to the lady, Rie, I believe her name was, he ended up trying, then he started thinking about the whole situation, thinking about how to handle things from there. And then Hikaru came in, they had that whole interaction where Hikaru then had to kind of exclaim that, like, he can't even figure out what his own feelings are anymore. His innate desire as this creature to seemingly consume somebody who knows about him, but also his feelings as Hikaru and seemingly his own kind of his own feelings that are branching off. He latched on to the original Hikaru's feelings for Yoshiki and that he liked him, but now they're developing into their own feelings for Yoshiki as well, outside of just the base feelings that he got from inhabiting Hikaru's body. We kind of learned that it's kind of developing its own feelings and it's like stuck in between. It can't, you know, differentiate against its own nature, its love for Yoshiki, etc., etc. And I think that's going to be a really interesting dynamic going forward. But in the end, it almost consumed Yoshiki before it stopped and said, no, not him, and then he left while apologizing. And so now Yoshiki has resolved himself to attempt their relationship in a different way. He's no longer going to treat him like Hikaru. He's going to treat him like a totally separate being altogether. The whole scene with, like, I gotta teach him a few things. There was so much, like, minute symbolism in that episode. A lot of the comments definitely helped clear a lot of that up, as the episode itself was very deep, and things like that. And I know I missed a couple things, so thank you guys in the comments for that. But it was such a good episode. Such a good episode. So yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here now that these two have decided to approach this relationship and dynamic in a different way, no longer treating it the same as how Yoshiki and the actual Hikaru's relationship was. They're gonna take a different approach here. So let's see how this goes. Anyway, per usual, feel free to check out the Patreon and Discord, links are in the description below. As far as the Discord goes, we talk about current anime, past anime, current manga, past manga, and have non-anime conversations as well. And as far as the Patreon goes, you get exclusives and uncuts to all my reactions, so feel free to check out either of those of your own will. Now that further, up straight into The Summer Hikaru Died, episode 4. Okay. Interesting, the cat's getting along with him now. Because he's got a treat. Before, back in episode 1, that cat got the fuck out of there as soon as it saw him. But it's actually interacting with him now. Can I finally pay? You know, so he's been trying to do this day after day, yeah. Oh, well, I know it ran away, but that was a different reaction. It didn't hiss at him or anything. That was a completely different reaction entirely. Like, don't know what just happened there with it. Yeah, you don't just poke it. Yeah. Even with Hikaru's memories, which is interesting. Coming out when I get excited. Yeah, at least from what he says, he is trying to better himself and become an actual person, but you know, shit keeps happening outside of that, and there's people who clearly don't want that to happen or don't want this creature to be here in the village. Oh yeah, someone also said, oh yeah, he's taking a shit. I think they showed us this cat playing with his balls in the first episode too. Anyway, someone pointed out, I don't know if it's true or not, but it could be a very cool like metaphor in the way that it's done, and that Yoshiki, and at first whenever Hikaru was like consuming him, I'm assuming that's what was happening. He was saying like it's gross, it's gross, it's gross, and he started saying it feels good at the end, which someone said could be a metaphor for what it actually feels like to be gay or something like that. At first, you know, like maybe you're conditioned to believe that kind of relationship is gross and disgusting, and then you realize no, that's just what you love and you actually really like it. I think that's very cool, and I actually agree. I think that would be a very fitting and good metaphor for that that type of situation. I had something else I wanted to add, but I'm forgetting what it was. If I remember it, I'll add it then. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I think there was also scenes of Yoshiki last episode like saying, oh, he's still got the mark on his hand. That, turn myself, yeah, it's his right hand. Okay, I had to orient myself to make sure I was looking at the right arm there. He's got it stuck on his right arm, but I think he was saying something like, fuck, I can't remember now. I might be forgetting the scene. I think it was something like this. He's saying like, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. Like going to keep this Hikaru around and stick around him. But he's still reeling with whether this is the right decision or not, but he's resolved himself to do it. Yeah, the steamy shits. I also must say, I have listened to both the full version of the opening and ending an unhealthy amount of times at this point. They're so fucking good! Oh, they're so good. The full version of the OP especially. Holy, that slaps. That final chorus is heavenly. Oh, it's so good. I've been feeling this happy atmosphere with Yoshiki and Hikaru ain't gonna last for long, though. I'm very nervous. Something obviously is about to go down with, like, Tanaka and all the other people. I would hate this shit in high school. Like I understand, like in America, at least around where I went to school, you would do things like musical programs for like elementary school, because you know you want to get the kids to be able to work together, and you know singing is a great way to kind of have a bunch of people all do something together at once as for like a program, and you know it's nice for the parents to see and things like that kind of image of what their kid is doing at school. But yeah, I would not want to do that in high school. There is a specific choir club for that kind of thing, but it seems like here this is a required thing that you have to do. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need anybody to hear my shitty singing. Uh-oh. Wow. Damn, she beat his ass. Thought it was gonna be a confession or something. Is this Ri? Oh, no, it's... She knows something's going on. She was specifically listening for something happening. Yeah. I can't tell, because back in the episode where the thing happened where Hikaru like snapped that net creature, what happened in that episode, she was like, oh my god, nobody else hear that sound like I heard it. But now she's here talking like she knows what's going on. It's throwing me off. I can't tell if she knows or if she's just winging it, like, oh, there's some creepy noise over there, you shouldn't go that way. I have no idea. I can't tell if she's actually involved and knows information or is just literally playing it by ear with things she hears and is just I don't know. That's fun. Literally put in the AirPods and got going. Oh boy. Yeah, kicking the squeaky ass bed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're gonna finally get a deeper dive into Yoshiki's family situation here, because the whole cashier was talking about it, and we've heard that his parents arguing before, but his sister apparently just doesn't go to school. She just stays inside all day. Yeah. This episode title is Summer Festival, so seems like we might be getting a summer festival this episode. Seems like he had forgotten that that's a thing. He got excited real quick. Oh, she didn't go with the typical like flip-flop things. Putting those Indos in charge. Ooh, Kohei. That is Hikaru's father's name. So Hikaru's father was in cahoots or knew these people. Son to shoulder the whole burden. Yeah, obviously talking about Hikaru. Because that ritual failed. And I'm still on the fact that there's been 3 different names called for this creature. It was like Nonuki, Inuki, and something else. I forget the last name, but there's like 3 different names for this thing that's been called at this point. That's nice. I'd love to be at a festival like this, man. It looks so cool. She seems very socially anxious, huh? Ooh, he's got a cross on his neck. Ooh! Can imagine why Yoshiki's looking at that. I really don't want to dive into religious shit because I don't want to start arguments on that. So you guys could imagine why he would look at that though. God, literally everybody knows their fucking business. Everybody. These are just 2 random passerbys. 2 random ass passerbys, and they fully know this family's business. Just in general, they fully know their business. Like, what the fuck? Just like that cashier knew all of their business. Just everybody in this village knows everything. See, that's actually a good thing for that from Hikaru. I don't think he did it intentionally because I don't think he was really listening to what they were saying. He was too focused on the festival, but good of him to divert their attention away from, you know, people knowing way too much about their family situation. Aww, when's this happy atmosphere gonna die? This shit's not gonna last for long. You're not gonna convince me. You're not gonna trick me. I refuse to be tricked. Takapi's been doing that too much as of late. So interesting. So because a ritual, okay, could be wrong. This is what I'm gathering at the moment. Because a ritual failed, they had to send Hikaru, because a ritual failed and his father died, they had to send Hikaru up into the mountains to fix it. I don't know why it has to be Hikaru's family. Oh, okay, I should have read the fucking subtitle on the screen. Even if we wanted to redo the ritual, only the men of the Indo family know how. Why? What was so important about Hikaru's father and Hikaru's family? This Hikaru should still have memories of that. Like what the ritual is, what he had to do, all the above. And if we are to believe... Sorry. If we are to believe what the current Hikaru says, then the real Hikaru was on the verge of death from whatever he was doing in those mountains. He was like literally about to die before Inuki, Nonuki, whatever the fuck the name of this thing is. Or it might not even be that. It might be one of the just like a different being that's a little more powerful or something like that. I don't know. But, it inhabited Hikaru when he was on his deathbed, basically, is what we've been led to believe. And we kind of saw it at the beginning of the first episode where he was like, didn't look so good. There's also still that visual, now that I'm thinking about the first episode, there's still that visual of that tree that literally was a woman's body. That's scary. What the fuck does that mean? Why is there a whole human-shaped tree, specifically a woman-shaped tree, up in that mountain? So many questions about what was going on there. There's also the claims or statements, I forget who made it, was it Ri? I think it might have been Ri who made it, where she was telling like Yoshiki to be careful because something to do with mixing. There's a lot of details that I still need more information on. I'm excited to find it all out. He said this would never last. This guy's got a scar on his face, and they seemingly gave Tanaka free reign here. Yeah, just getting drunk while their lives are all on the line here. Yes! 300 years. I see. So that's like their job, is to keep that thing locked. Why the hell is that a cicada in the light? Why the hell they focus on that? Do you have any other choice? He's back. Scar looking more pronounced than ever. Yeah, you got a hole in the sock. Shit, I would trust this man. Better than me going and doing it. His shirt's all dirty too. What the hell was he doing up there? Was this? They mentioned a woman who went missing last episode or the episode before, and I theorized that I think it was episode 2 then. And I theorized that it was that woman with the long neck creature that Hikaru consumed, as far as we're led to believe. That was a theory I tossed. I think there was more details to what happened to that woman. It's like she went missing and she was connected to the grandma, the grandma that died in episode 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think the exact connection there. Maybe they'll address it here again. If not, feel free to, you know, clarify in the comments. I was gonna say I don't feel like going back, but now I feel like I need to go back and take a look here. It was said before this because I theorized that it could be this woman. Here we go. Saw something in her past. Okay, that's not where that is, clearly. Yes, it was her daughter. That was the connection. Okay, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, and then he asked, did you know her? Yeah, you know her well, and then they're all looking like nervous. Yep. Okay, that's the connection I wanted to make, because I think this might be the daughter, possibly, because that's what he went up there to look for, was like, what's going on, where this thing is at. Use it for the ritual on the mountain, I'm pretty sure. Yes, you mentioned this the other episode, that these like literal human heads turned into these like little chrysalisk, that's what that's called, right? Fucking things. I don't know, but they ward off spirits. That filthy, ooh, very specific word choice there. That filthy mountain. You think? Yeah. Kameyama. Okay, that was there was like a specific name drop there. So it seems like, okay, I think maybe the approach we're going for here now is Hikaru, the situation with Hikaru is kind of solved for the time being, and how Yoshiki and Hikaru are going to approach their relationship going forward. But now, and so since that's handled, we're gonna focus on this for a bit. Kibogayama Town. Makes sense. You see that map on the wall? Looks like there's like 4 different areas. What? It used to be one big village. Why is that bad for him to know? Why is that? Why would they not want him to know that? Have churches out the wazoo. Okay, interesting. Kubitachi is like the smallest one out of the bunches here. Yeah, that must be the town they're mentioning, this one in the middle. Good question. Yeah, and so this festival might have people from the other village, in the way that he said there's churches out the wazoo, and then there's that guy who had a cross necklace on. So people from the village might, or from the town might come here to this village for this festival. My question is, why the fuck are these guys being so secretive when I understand maybe they don't trust him, but their whole village is at risk. All of their lives are at risk. Fuck, I'd be trusting anybody who can do anything about the situation. They're really trying to be secret. Damn! Whoa! Did he just get a lick of Hikaru out there? What the fuck was that? Ooh, barrier. Oh, fuck. He's not crossing the barrier there, and he's keeping it a secret from them too. We might have a direct confrontation between Hikaru and Tanaka now. Oh, look, his nose is red where he hit his face. Also, this might be a good showcase of whether we can fully trust Hikaru or not, because while he says he might not, you know, consume Yoshiki because of his feelings and his ever-growing feelings for him, it's still at least feasibly believable for the time being that he killed the grandma in episode 1 and will kill and consume any other people who get in his way as well. So this thing is incredibly dangerous. Even if Yoshiki wants to push past it and have a relationship with him, it's not smart. But obviously I get why it's happening. It's just dangerous, incredibly dangerous. Ooh. God damn, he's trying to go to the barrier real quick. That is a good question, actually. The exact same flavor, really? Yeah. Even I didn't know that. No way, that's not true. That's just not true. We have I've been to snow cone places where they taste different. What the fuck are we talking about here? Okay, that must be just like a myth or something, because that didn't make any sense. Is that actually true? I've never heard of that before. No, wait, I don't believe that's actually true. No shot. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I've never heard that before. Aw, nice. Ooh, damn. What a question. Oh, Tanaka went running by the Yoshiki family. I don't know their last name. I forget. Damn. That's a much different answer than Yoshiki would have given an episode or two ago. That is a much different answer. Do you like that? Feels like he might like that. Yeah. He likes that Yoshiki is now separating him from the actual Hikaru as a separate entity to have a relationship with. And by relationship, I obviously don't just mean like dating. I just mean an actual connection between the two of them as separate people. Yeah, I think you really like that. Yep, he ran to the barrier immediately. Ooh, why does it affect him? Also, why did the hamster react? That's another good question I have. Why did the hamster react whenever whenever Hikaru touched the barrier? Why the hell did the hamster react? Oh god, he knows. He knows it's like, he knows Hikaru. He doesn't know it's Hikaru, but he knows the creature is like right here. So he figured out I ain't the real Hikaru. What did you, huh? Fucking what? You saw? Huh? You saw Hikaru like on the verge of death. Wait, does that mean that, hold on, he said Hikaru's dead body. Did that, maybe he just assumed it was dead because it was dark out? Maybe he just assumed Hikaru was dead and he actually wasn't, and so that's when Nonoki, Inuki, whatever the fuck this fucking thing's name is, took over Hikaru? Could that be how it played out? Because otherwise, there's a huge contradiction in what Hikaru has told us so far. He told Yoshiki that he took over Hikaru's body when he was on the verge of death. Not dead, like Yoshiki just said he saw. Or maybe it's a thing of like when this creature took over Hikaru's body, it made him seem like he was dead for a while. I don't know. That's a huge reveal. What the fuck? That's a huge reveal that he saw his body. He saw his body and then for 6 months acted like nothing was wrong until one day it just seemed like he couldn't handle it anymore. He was like 6 months in, he was done being in denial and just outright said, "You're not the real Hikaru." Or I believe it's 6 months in, because It's in January is when we started, and then we started in the middle of summer in July, right? I think so, or June. Don't even think about it. Ooh. Okay, that could just be out of concern for her son, but what are the odds that that Yoshiki's mother knows something going on too? Oh, I have so many more questions now. To look for Hikaru. Lioness! So we're finally getting the full extent of what happened in the first episode. Let's go. Oh, he just hide behind the tree so they wouldn't see him. God damn. There's that fucking tree again. Okay, that tree's obviously important. They made damn sure to show us that again. They made absolutely certain to show us that again. Wow, he actually... Oh my god. But this is... What the fuck? Stone? What the fuck is what is happening this episode? What do you mean stone? You're also so weirdly calm about this. That's because it's winter. Is he assuming that the reason he feels like stone is because it's so cold out his body's like freezing? I have so many questions now. I mean, yeah, you're fucking freaking out. Your friend, totally not lover, was literally dead next to you. Whoa. He was in the hospital. Yep. Despite... What the fuck? What? Hikaru's face is like, wait, what the hell? So the body had already been taken over. Let me look at the eyes again. His eyes, they're perfectly to where you can't see whether the pupils are red or not, but they look just normally black. But he said I was already like this. So wait, does that mean he never took over? Does that mean he just took the form of Hikaru and Hikaru's actual body was still up in the mountain? What does that mean? Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. It is like I said. He had taken over the body and it just appeared as though he was dead. That was one of the theories I had tossed out about what was going on here. And that is in fact what's going on. Basically, he took over the Hikaru that was on his deathbed. He went in and took it over. And then he was repairing Hikaru's body for days. And then he finally went to the, woke up, went home to the hospital. And then that was that. Yeah. Damn. So you two can actually be a thing. Because I think Yoshiki knows. Hikaru's a little more on the airheaded side, but Yoshiki definitely thinks about these kinds of things. If they stay in this village, this very remote, probably more traditional thinking village, then they won't ever be able to be a thing that is accepted. That as well, I can imagine that's incredibly fucking annoying. Yeah, because with everybody sticking their nose in your family business, the second you try to become a thing with Hikaru, everybody's gonna find out like that. Everybody's going to immediately find out. So there's no hiding it. So that's another reason to be annoyed for that. But also just in general, putting aside the, gay relationship thing. I'd be so fucking annoyed if every person in the area that I lived knew everything going on with my family. Like, putting the gay thing completely aside, I would also be incredibly annoyed. But adding the, thing on top of it makes it even worse. The other's bad-mouthedness. Yusuke. That's a new name. Okay, we are addressing the gay stuff directly here. Damn, anybody who was coping that these two were just friends, you can take that shit and throw it in the trash. They're directly addressing it now. So yeah, he's gay. And because that adds so much more context to why Yoshiki wants to get out of this village and all the above. That adds so much more context because Yoshiki himself is gay, and he himself has first-hand experience seeing how a gay person in this village was treated. It makes so much more sense now. So much more sense. LGBT? Adds so much more context that he's got first-hand experience seeing how someone is treated like that. So you just come to my place instead. Yeah, ow! Those things have claws, you dick. Ow! Oh man, he misses him so fucking much. Wow. I mean, he's treating you like an entirely separate entity now. This scene makes sense. This scene is a very strong movement in the right direction for Yoshiki's grieving process. It's a very strong movement in the right direction because him keeping Hikaru there means he is grieving his best friend, totally not lover, while also keeping this new person at his side as well. I think this is a strong step in the direction of he's separating this Hikaru with the actual Hikaru. Anything. I knew that sounded a little scary and yandere-ish when he said that. It's like normally I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm always gonna keep you safe. I'd be like, oh yeah. In any other series, I'd be like, oh, that's really sweet. This one, that has a lot of scary implications. Keep me safe from what? I know that there's monsters out there. That's very scary sounding. And then the next close frame. Very yandere-ish, man. Don't know how strong you need to be to do that. What? And that's why he like collapsed to the floor. That's why he literally collapsed to the floor, because he lost an internal organ when that happened earlier. That's why he like grabbed at his stomach. What, how many times has he done this? I feel like there's only so many organs you can lose that aren't essential to bodily function. Hate the method my company recommends. That's interesting. See, those sort of things fancy humans. How this man, because it's in a human body. It is in a human body, that's how. Yup. There you go. Back to the train tracks again. This is definitely gonna be... This is a thing, part of the opening. Oh my god. Oh, Ri! You know, was she not telling Yoshiki the full truth? She told Yoshiki that she just felt something come down from the mountain. That's what she told him she felt. And she told him that he's getting attached with something dangerous. I feel like she was not telling him the whole truth if she's out here literally eviscerating these things. What? Bro, that's creepy. The way it's in a totally different resolution from from everything else in the show, it's so good. That's when her husband came back, right? The story she told Yoshiki last episode, that her husband came home and left a wound, like, her husband died. She said her late husband came back. But then again, it also could just be her referring to the fact that he's dead now, and at the time he came back, but whatever, and I'm not getting into specifics on that. Anyway, he came home and then left a wound on her son that will never go away. You could maybe assume it's something similar to what Yoshiki's got on him, or what she's got on where her ring is. Tsuji Naka boys. Is that Yoshiki's last name? Because they dropped Tsuji Naka earlier in the episode too, but I didn't recognize if that was his name. Yeah, that is his name. Okay, actually, wait, I'm gonna go back and look at the context they said Tsuji Naka in earlier in the episode then. Fuck, I don't remember. I don't know where it's at, and Netflix skipping 10 seconds does not fucking help. They might, yeah, they said Tsuji Naka earlier in the episode. I knew they had said it at some point, but I forgot. Maybe they were just talking about how he's connected to Hikaru's family. Whatever. I can't fucking find it right now. I'll find it later. I'm gonna spend forever just trying to let that whole scene play out again. Okay, we got an end credit scene today. Still need to figure out what that thing on Hikaru's neck is in the ending there. We know now what the mark is on Yoshiki's arm, but is this the actual Hikaru? Oh shit. He saw the fucking tree too. Yeah, Ranji? Did he fall down the hill? Oh my god. So he just slipped while looking at that tree and almost died because of it? Eesh, yeah, so he busted his head open. I didn't want Mama to suffer again. If I die, he'll be all alone. Talking about Yoshiki. I wonder if this like Nonuki Inuki or whatever it was, I wonder if it responded to that. That's why they like hard focused on it here. It responded to that wish. Unuki, that was the other name. It was Inuki, Nonuki, and Unuki. 3 different names we've gotten so far. I would assume if Hikaru's family is involved with the ritual and everything that they know the correct name. But I don't know. Maybe that's 3 different beings actually. Nonuki, Inuki, and Unuki. 3 different beings? I don't know. Stay with him. Interesting. Nothing else? Okay, yeah. Alright, well, we'll see how this all plays out. We've now kind of got the full story of how Hikaru died, and that would involve, obviously, we just saw him slip. He slipped and essentially crashed his head open. That's not the word I'm looking for. Bashed his head open? Whatever. He did that, and yeah, yikes. Anyway, good episode. Really good episode, actually. This one was great. Focusing on Hikaru and Yoshiki's dynamic now, kind of separated from the past Hikaru, and then getting more information on Tanaka and actually what is going on. Good stuff. Really good episode. If I miss anything, per usual, feel free to clarify in the comments, as long as it's obviously not spoilers for upcoming stuff. But I don't got much else to add here, so I think that is going to wrap it up from reaction to the Summer Hikaru Died episode 4. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you all have a good day.